Hey guys, I thought I made make video series of how to paint different types of lure patterns, and well, first edition is gonna be a hybrid crappie color, which looks like this. So throughout the video, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to do this, and of course, if any one of you guys has future ideas of different kinds of patterns of lures that I could do, I'm very open to suggestions. So leave those comments down below, and I guess I might actually do it. So on with the video. Alright, let's get started. The first thing I usually always do with foil baits is that I lay down an opaque white base coat on the seams. And as always, this is clear coated already, so that you don't get those ugly seams showing underneath the paint job as you're doing this. And for the reason I have the foils not touching each other, as you could probably see on the start, is that when you leave it like this, the foil is less prone to have any wrinkles on it when you actually apply it on the base. So that's a good neat trick that I've learned during the years of doing these lures of mine. So yeah, I'm just making sure that I don't have any kinds of seams showing underneath, because it will show up later on if you don't actually do this, especially with this style that I'm using. So yeah, this is the result that you should. So next up, I'm gonna start applying some pearl white, and the reason for this being is that bait fish in particular pretty much always have somewhat of a pearl white belly, so it sort of like adds a little bit of realism to fish imitations that you might be doing. I pretty much always do it like this anyway. So of course, another good thing about doing it and adding a little bit of pearl underneath it, it sort of like ties in the metallic foil and the opaque white, so that there's not that much of a seam between them. Adds a little bit of realism if you are aiming for that. And a little bit of final touches on this side, I guess. So since I'm doing a hybrid crappie color here, if you look pictures online of any kinds of hybrids, they usually have little hint of blue on them, especially around the head and shoulder area. So I just decided to add a little bit of blue in here. Not too much and not too little, just enough. And it actually ties up really nicely later on when I actually start to apply the green and yellow. Just a little bit of blue on the back as well. And final touches. Okay, the next color in line is going to be transparent yellow, but I guess you probably could get away with using opaque yellow as well, but I really wouldn't recommend that. But yeah, you probably could dilute it very thin use that if you don't have any transparent yellow. But of course, I really wouldn't recommend that because especially water-based paints have a nasty tendency of exploding when they're very thin. So it might not be a good idea. Just stick with transparency and transparent paints. And usually, whenever I'm doing somewhat of a realistic side colors, I always start from the back and move down from there. So the next color in line is going to be olive green, and I actually did already start doing a little bit of details on the gills and other parts, but unfortunately I forgot to put my camera on, so sorry about that. And as always, I'm starting from the back side and moving down from there. It's much easier for me to control the color blend that way. It sort of like ties in the colors even more like that if you actually do it that way. And if you look closely, I'm actually not. I'm holding the bait in a way that I'm actually painting past the bait and letting the mist of the paint sort of like blend the colors in more. I usually always do this sort of thing with head details especially. I've cut this stencil from normal copy paper with a carpet knife, and we're gonna start doing the markings on the bait next. I have a fairly thin mixture of black here, and of course, since I'm aiming for somewhat of a realistic paint job, I don't want black to show too much. I mean, yeah, you want to have it stand out a little bit, but there's a fine line between a little bit and too much. Yeah, I guess I'm pretty much done here. Let's see what we have here and how it came out. Pretty awesome, huh? Okay, I'm gonna start laying down a little bit of transparent yellow on the fin, and sort of like adds a little bit of realism to the fin. I'm actually not painting it fully, but just a little bit. And time to change for my detail brush. I have a hardened in Steenbeck Infinity with a 0.15 millimeter needle. I'm adjusting the needle control just to the point where it actually doesn't move backwards at all. Since I'm using fairly diluted and thin mixture of black. Since I'm using a fairly diluted mixture of black, like I talked a little bit about this before, that when I'm doing something that is supposed to look a little bit realistic, I usually always end up painting past the thing that I'm supposed to be painting. And let the mist and the haze of the paint actually do the work. You don't end up having very rough edges on stencil work, especially like fins like like I'm doing here. And a little bit of final touch here. Let's see how it came out. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this first edition of painting with me. And yeah, until next time, I guess.